Hello, and here we are back again. This is one of my small projects of adding point motors to my depot. As you know, I did a depot rebuild in a couple of my videos if you look back, and it's a four-parter, so you can see the construction of the depot and all the things we did, and we scraped it all down, we made it, and made the depot, and we built this whole area. The next part of this is to make it automated with points. So at the moment all my points are manual, which is okay, and that was always going to be the way. But when you build things, you then have a desire to make things a little bit smoother. Having a yard, it makes sense to have a nice little shunting video, which it was always in my intention to do a nice little shunt video, and putting your hand in the way to change points just doesn't look good. So I've decided this year, 2018, put points pretty much all round the layout. Where do you start? You know, there's so many points on the market. I looked at so many different modules. It's just whatever you want to spend and whatever sort of sounds you want to get from them, or whatever quality you want, it's all out there. I try and do things realistically on a lower budget, to be practical and to work, because I think cost of hours is far too expensive. You can put a pile load of cash into it, but I then tend to try and think of the younger lads, the young kids that start off, and some of you younger lads that are out there that are trying to build and have some fun with something, but the cost is just astronomical. So with that in hand, I went to a friend's house a couple of weeks ago, just over the Christmas holidays. That's why I've been a bit quiet, and we've been playing trains, and he showed me a system that is very practical, very simple, and I'm now adopting that very same process. And I was quite surprised. I've watched so many videos on YouTube. Some people don't show you everything, some people show you bits and pieces. So you end up scratching your head thinking, how do you do it? And the only way I could do it was to buy it, play it, and see what happens, by looking at videos, putting pieces together. And I've mastered what I can. Whether this is the best way or not, I don't know. But what I've got actually works, and I think some of you guys might find it useful. So to start off with, we raided patterns with some of their Gauge Master points. So we raided loads of points. These are the, there you go, Seep 2 motors, and apparently these are about £4 or so. You can get them for about £4.50, £5. Some people are selling them for £6 on the internet. Have a look round if you're going to buy a few. For me to do the whole of this layout, it's going to cost me £80. If you're going to put another £2 per point, it starts mounting up, you know, and anything else you want to buy. So these are what I'm using. These are the Gauge Master Seep 2. Okay, so that's PM2. So these are the points I am using, and these will sit underneath the track, and the pillar will stick out, and then you line it up and then cut it out. Now, one thing you're probably looking and thinking, I've laid all my track down and now I've got to cut holes to put the points in. You're correct. I don't do things easily, but it is doable because I put cork down. I've got a layer, so I've got the baseboard, and then there's the membrane with the track, which is the cork. So going through underneath, luckily it's all this height so I can get to everything. Going through with a drill, it only just burrs up the top of the cork that's just underneath the track bit. So I can just scalpel that out, which I've been doing. So much as I didn't want to put cork down, I found it is actually a pain with ballast, because the ballast doesn't set hard. But it has been a blessing, so I can actually put holes in to get to my points. So it's a 50-50. So I've done two, which you'll see my progression, because I'm actually going to do the other two and show you guys how I did it. I had to do two to make sure it worked. That was the whole plan. There's no point doing a video and it going wrong. So that's why I've done it this way. So you can see we've got a new control panel. Was going to have one switch to control 2 points, and it works. I did a little test thing. This was my little test bed. Put the points on there and switch the switch, bang, it moves both. It's fine, works absolutely fine. But when you put a bit of a load on there, a bit of pressure running from a 16-volt transformer, it can sort of slow it down a little bit. I'm trying not to use CDU discharge units. I'll happily buy one if I have to, but I just want to see what the difference is and how it all works. From doing research, the switches that I bought are momentary, so they're on both sides and off in the middle. That's the switches that I bought. Okay, so you'll need a good few of them. I've only bought 6 at the moment, just to sort of give it a test, and you can get them from micro miniatures, I think that's from, so they sell them. There's other people sell them, but they worked out, I think they were £1, I think about £1.30 a switch or something. It's not too bad. So you know, you're talking two points, a point and a switch, you're talking about £5. So you know, it's going to cost you £5 to do one switch, 1 point. So if you're looking at it that way. Anyway, so that was the test piece. That all worked. I did find under load with the point, the actual slip bit, it was just putting a bit of pressure on it and it wasn't pulling properly. So I took out, I've actually drilled another hole and I've actually made these 2. You can see I'm just doing this one now, but they now work. So that's now one and that's the other one. So it all works. So I'll carry on. I'll show you the other 2. We'll take apart and then we'll actually install the 2 bits that I need to do to finish this little bit off here, and then we'll do a nice little shunting video afterwards so you can see it all in operation. I think that's what we'll do. So anyway, I'll stop raffling on like I normally do and we'll get on with it. So right, off we go, kid. Do with another cup of tea. Wife, cup of tea please. Oh. With that, I've installed my switch, which is there. It's wired up. It's got 3 terminals on the back like that. So you've got that's your plus in the middle, and then you've got your feed to the points. That goes to the seat motor, which is live, and then you've got the return back through to the controller. So that's the power, and then that's the seat motor. It's quite simple. All the instructions are here for you in the seat motor package. We don't have D, E or F, so we don't use them. We just use B, A and C. I'll switch in. These don't like being on, so make sure the power goes off. There you go. So it works. So we'll fit them to the railway and see how that looks. So this is where the area I'm gonna put the control panel. I've built this control panel. You can see I've made some holes to switches. Now the idea is that I have one switch that turns both sections, because realistically I either want it to go down or want it to go up. I'm not going to have one point upwards and the other one down, because that would cause a derailment. I'd forget it. So at the end of the day, it's got to be all level down or all level across, so both lanes can be used. After the little test, it works now, so I know that one switch will do both lanes, so that should all work. And the idea is that's going to sit up into there, and that will screw in there, then wire in straight to underneath here where the points are going to go. So we'll start adding a couple, and we'll see how it all goes, and we'll wire it all in, see what it does. They're not quite thick enough to put all the little plates underneath, so I'm just going to nip the bolt into the plywood. In time I'll probably laminate this or do something with this, but for now this is it's just going to see how it all works, just for functionality really, before I actually start painting, and I should do that all another time. Just basically want to get it all working and running first before we do anything else. Take that one off of there. It's not the ideal way of attaching these, because you really should put them all in the right way, but Unfortunately, with the thickness of the ply board, there's not a lot of room to get the bolt in. That one. So I shall carry on with the other switch, and then we'll add the points, and then we'll wire them up. Right, so I've just soldered a wire to A and I soldered a wire to B, and then we're going to this end. These go to the switch. Drop these in a bit of flux. Quickly tin these. They'll go straight to the switch. So we now need to drill our hole here. Luckily I can get it, so I need to get it in the centre. It's about there. Normally put a little sleeper in there, which Jamie at Penny Hill does. Puts a little sleeper in there, but I haven't got any in the moment, so I'm just going to do it manually. Drill a hole. That's now gone through underneath, not tacking any wiring. That's beautiful. So that's that. So now we've got a hole there. Move that little pin out of the way. Okay, so we've got a little hole, and so that we can see we're drilling, my advice to you is to take a marker pen, that'll do, and this is the hole there, so we just do a circle round here. We're not going to have a lot of room for this, so we'll have to move it over. Yeah, so that's that, and then we're going to do that, and very gently now run our hole underneath. So the 2-point motors are now in place, so we've got one in there and one in there. As you can see, the poles are still sticking up, so I'm going to trim them off. I did have one switch to control 2 points, but running off of 16 volts, having 2 switches actually gives you just a little more power to flick the switches. Bit noisy, but I think if you sort of button them down a bit more, so I've got a little bit of fettling to do, they will actually be a bit better, but this is just early days. I can cope with that, to be honest. In the day it changes the points, that's what I needed to do. So yeah, that is the our points. So we'll run a train on it, chop them little bits off and see what it does. So there we have it. There's our switches. This is our loco going over our points, and the point motors on this section are all installed. I have 2 over here to do and 2 down there to do. I've just run out of switches, so that's something I will do and I will add. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me explain to you. I'm running 16 AC to the switch straight to the power motor, the point motor. For that reason, I was going to do one switch runs two, but I would need a capacitor discharge unit to power both points. Would just need that oomph. I realised that I was testing to see what I could get away with. Basically, I can still add one and I can still change that. It really is not a problem. At the moment, it's just 16 AC going to a switch, and then I can change each individual point, and then I can bring another one down. So I can actually bring another loco. What's that one? 9. So now I can bring that one down. So without changing the points again, I can now actually bring one up while that one's shunting down. So it gives me a bit more flexibility what I want to do, and that was the whole point of it. So I'm happy the way it's gone, and it all works how I want it to perform. So I've got one shunting there and this one going up here, so that's all good. All is good. Anyway, I'm going to do a little shunting video so you can see how this all operates and how it's all running. So I shall button that onto the next video. I won't do it on this video because it's just gone on for too long, and I certainly will do a little running session because I think it's long overdue now. Anyway guys, I hope this was inspirational for you guys, and you can understand just running a momentum switch which is off in the middle. These are all off in the middle. They just reset back to the middle position, and you got down and up, which gives you the power to throw the point. And these are Seep 2 points, and it runs straight down to 16. Hopefully this video gives you some ideas how I've done mine, and probably some ideas how you do yours. I know it's a topic at the moment. A lot of people adding points to layouts. Anyway guys, I'm going to carry on. I'm going to start doing work on the other videos. So I'm going to start filming that today, and hopefully get a shunting video out very soon. Anyway guys, have a great time whatever you do. Happy modelling, and I shall catch you on the front of the next video. Cheerio guys. Cheers. Bye.